going through, you know, Winchester and Chesterville. So that is something that you have to think about.
Thank you. Next question. Gosh, they've answered all your questions already. There have to be more questions. And by the way, repeat questions are okay as long as you go to the back of the line if you did.
So go to the front of the line. And I go back to that growth question, and I think that's the answer that a lot of us want to hear. I was at a public meeting, I'm going to say about 3 weeks ago. And I know, Gerry, you would have been there. Teresa, I'm not sure if you were there. And they're talking about a new subdivision in Winchester. And the opposition that came forward, I came from that meeting astounded by the pettiness and the lack of foresight by the people who were commenting. And I'm just wondering, you both spoke about growth. How do you tackle the negativity? Is that something that you people could comment?
You wish to? What do you wish to do?
I mean, I'd like to hear both answer for sure.
I think the way we have to work with the growth, we have to work with the development and give them all the information that we can give them and tell them about our concerns, things that we'd like to have changed, things that we'd like done. It's like a lot of things you can't stop improvement, you can't stop the future, you know. And we have to have growth. Everybody realizes you have to have growth. We hear all the time that we don't have enough growth and we don't have enough businesses. Well, you know, when we have more homes, more businesses, we're going to have more growth as far as retail and everything's going to improve. I know big box stores have looked at us in Winchester, and we're just not there yet. The population is not there, but they're looking at us, and when we get a certain, but they're not going to come until the people are, and the people are coming now, because I think the secret's out about Winchester being a great community to live in, and Winchester and Chesterfield and Hallville, there's 3 subdivisions in Hallville, if you believe it. There's 3 subdivisions, and we're seeing a lot of growth there too. So I think that when the people get out here, I think you're going to see more business, and the businesses that are there now, I'm sure they can do nothing but strive. They can just hang on to them as the growth comes, because it's coming now.
When each of you are speaking, speak a little louder right towards the mic, because I see some people cupping their hands to their ears towards the back. Thanks very much, Gerry.
Okay. I did walk along Clarence Road, I think it was called, and I spoke to a lot of people. Their concerns are, they're for growth, but their concerns are that the roads where this is going to come through, there's no sidewalks. And so they're saying if you have 500 people now coming out through these roads, they want sidewalks there. They're also worried about, they don't have back valves, you know, for the sewage on their houses, meaning there has to be some sewer work to make sure that there's no backup of sewers. They would prefer if the main road would come out on the Boyne Road. I don't know, I don't know what's been going on in council. That was one suggestion instead of coming through where people are living now. Other comments were, is it 500 more people it's going to take there? Is it 500? They're wondering about, is there enough water supply? Can the lagoons take 500 people? You know, all the infrastructure. How long will the dump last if we have this, you know, many people there? So those are things that we have to be dealt with. The waste management, someone has to know how much water is coming from the aquifer to fuel everybody. And so those are issues that have to be sorted out before the subdivision can come up. So I don't think they're against the growth. I think they're against the traffic coming on their roads, no sidewalks, they're worried about the sewage.
Thank you very much. Next question. I see some agricultural types here, and one of the things I've heard in the past is some councils in the United Counties don't have people with agricultural background. Well, here you have 2 with some. Does anyone not have a question on agriculture? Maybe each of them would like just to comment on agriculture in our area. Oh, is there a question? Please.
We've been beekeepers in this area since 1977 and since 1973, and we lost all our bees this year. And because we're surrounded by a lot of corn and soy, and they spray a lot of neonics, pesticide, herbicide that gets transferred through the actual apple planting seeds. So I'm concerned about that, and I know there are a lot of farmers here, and there's a lot of argument about it. But I have watched this happen honestly over a period of time, and I'd kind of be interested to know what how the township is thinking about that. Because if we lose the bees, and we're losing a lot of them, if we lose the bees, we lose the orchards, we lose the orchards, we lose a lot of our pollinators. So I think it's a big issue.
Okay, let me summarize for you because some of the back didn't hear. This has a question about the bees as pollinators and the sprays that may be killing them. Is that summarized? So do you have a direction of who wants to start?
Well, either way.
Okay, Theresa, you can start this time.
Okay. Yes, I've raised these two, so I know what the problem is. It's a very complex situation. It's not really under municipal direction, unfortunately. The municipality could decide, for instance, not to spray pesticides in the ditches, but whenever it comes to farmers spraying their crops of corn and soybeans, they have changed the carrier on the nicotinamides so that it doesn't poof up, whatever you call it, as much. And as you know, the beekeepers, there's two groups. There's the Ontario Grain Farmers Association, who totally want to keep that fungicide, pesticide, and then there's the other side, of course, who says it's very bad for us. So it's still the only thing the municipality, I don't like it personally, but the only thing the municipality can do is not spray in their own ditches. But as for the farmers, so far it's voluntary. Some of them who were around my farm this last spring, I can't think of his name, but anyways, he told me that he was using that new system so that it wouldn't fly up in the air.
Thank you. Gerry?
Yeah, thank you. Like Theresa said, it's not a municipal issue, but it's something we have to work with our federal and provincial partners with at that level. I'm very concerned with it also. As far as the township spraying the ditches, we don't spray our ditches. And we haven't been since I've been on council. It's something where we look at every year, whether we should be or not, because the weeds are atrocious, but we're trying to control it by cutting. That's why we bought our own mowers, and we're trying to control it by cutting instead of spraying. So, because there is people opposed to spraying, and there's some people that are telling us we should be spraying because the weeds from the ditches are getting into their fields, and they have, they spray the fields, and then our weeds are getting into their fields. So, a lot of farmers would prefer we did spray. I know at the county level we spray. The county roads are sprayed, yes, they are. But they're controlled, and there's places they spray, and there's places they don't spray. If you don't want to spray, you don't get sprayed on the county system. But no, it is a concern, to be quite honest. It's, as far as the bees issue, I'm concerned about it. I know the importance, but it's not something that has been on our